Okay, hello everyone. Wait a few minutes for people to tune in. Hello. If everyone wants to say where they're viewing from, that would be awesome. Carrie's here. If you guys follow me, I know a lot of you are excited to see more of Carrie.
The sidekick.
The sidekick, yeah. All right, cool. All right, so today we are doing a little mini at-home facial using 100% Pure. They're doing a Pure masterclass series where people just come on and share little tips and health advice or workouts. So I am here to share how we do a little his and hers facial. And then I'm going to talk about kind of my journey with Lyme, holistic healing, the things I've done. So we're going to get going. Bay Area.
Portland, Oregon. All right.
Nice. And then also, if you guys have any questions, just write them in and I'll answer them throughout the video. But hold on, let me open this up. Okay, so first I just kind of wanted to go over my story. If you guys don't know me, I'm Holly. I started Wealthy Belly about, 2.5?
2.5 years ago, yeah.
2.5 years ago. But I was diagnosed with Lyme disease about 4 years ago. Oh, I'm like talking too fast.
Yeah, slow it down, man. Slow it down. We got time.
We got time. So yeah, I was diagnosed with Lyme disease about 4 years ago. I went through a lot of different symptoms and stuff. For 4 years, I didn't really know what was going on, and it took a lot of doctors to try to help me figure that out. So what kind of started off was my health just took a drastic turn, like a 180. I had digestion issues, fatigue, brain fog, memory issues, really just painful gut issues. And so I started off with Western doctors, and they just kind of wanted to put a Band-Aid on it and give me some pills and antibiotics, and it just didn't really seem right to me. I kept thinking, where is this coming from? What's the root cause? And so that's what really made me dig deeper into finding like a functional doctor or someone more holistic, and that's when I realized those types of doctors try and help you find the root cause. So after years of trying to figure that out, I finally found a doctor who diagnosed me with Lyme disease, and that's kind of where we're at now. I'm doing bee venom therapy. I have about 4 months left, and I'm feeling great. One of the most common questions I get is just what are the symptoms I still have that are lingering, and I don't really have much. I have the occasional...
No, it hasn't been too bad.
No, I had the occasional fatigue, but I had brain fog and fatigue every day for 4 years, for about 3 to 4 hours a day. So now I'm totally fine. Like, my gut's so much better. I worked through parasites and leaky gut, and all through a holistic approach. So the main thing I just want to say is that you can heal through holistic ways. Western medicine is amazing. It's needed, and there's a perfect time and a place for it. But I think for things that are gut issues, fatigue, mold, parasites, I think it's really, really important to kind of go a more holistic way for that, because doctors will really try and help you find the root cause and how to properly kind of just get rid of it and not just give you a pill for it or antibiotics. So that's kind of my story. And throughout the facial, we're going to kind of be going over some Q&As that I got over on my page. Oh, thanks, guys. So first, we're going to start off...
Don't you have to introduce me?
Oh, this is my...
God.
This is my boyfriend, Carrie. He's the best support system. And he's kind of like the sidekick.
I'm the sidekick.
To Wealthy Belly, though. He takes all my photos.
I'm the Andy Richter to the Conan O'Brien, as we joke about.
This is my world. You're just
living
it over here. But okay, so we're going to do a little mini facial. I think self-care is so important during these times because it's very heavy and a lot of people are stressed, and I think self-care does not mean it's selfish. I think with Mr. Side Pervert, self-care is not selfish. I think that if we want to show up for the people in our lives, the best way to do that is to take care of ourselves. And so I know when I'm getting a very kind of irritated or just moody, that means I need some alone time, which I fully believe is self-care as well. So we're just going to do some self-care and give ourselves a facial just to slough off any dead skin, you know, give us a nice glow. I'm always trying to get him to be better about his skincare routine.
Yeah.
He's a guy, and I feel like...
Don't really know what I'm doing most of the time.
So. I just throw products at him. I'm like, he's this, he's this.
I'm the little test bunny.
Yeah, so I'm very excited that he's going to be doing some self-care facial stuff with me. So first...
Yeah, and I've been trying this for the last couple days. Holly's always throwing new products at me, seeing what I like, what I don't like, and we've been trying this for the last couple days, and it's awesome. So
yeah,
excited to walk you guys through a couple of the steps.
Yeah, and at the end, I'm going to be giving my discount code. It will give you guys 10% off of all their products, and then also they're going to be doing a trivia question on their page when this Instagram Live is over, and whoever guesses right wins all the products that we're using, so make sure you're paying attention to what we're talking about.
Good products.
Good products. Okay, so first, I'm going to start off, we have two different cleansers. I have kind of more drier, normal skin. He has slightly more oily skin.
With a little bit more hair.
A little bit more hair. So mine is the Argan Oil Creamy Cleanser. Carrie's is the
charcoal clay cleanser, because charcoal's in right now.
Charcoal's in.
It's
Charcoal's trending. So Carrie's is, oh, and show the sponge that we use.
And we use a little bit of a sponge.
This is like a charcoal bamboo type of spongy thing. It's really cool, so it just really helps get in there. It's gentle, but it helps remove any impurities and all that. So we have two sinks here. Just gonna add some cleanser. And when I wash my face, I love to kind of make sure I'm really massaging it. Help with some circulation. Turn the water off. Save the planet. Smells so good.
And then what I do, because you really want to follow what I do, is put a little bit on the sponge, wet the sponge, start massaging the face gently. Holly tells me to go clockwise, I go clockwise. She tells me to go counterclockwise, I go counterclockwise. You want me to go in triangles? I'll go in triangles. It doesn't really matter.
He's a good listener. Okay. Smells so good. And then don't forget kind of the neck area. You can just use this time to massage the neck. Help open up the lymph. Glad you guys think Carrie's funny.
This is great because...
I think he's funnier than me. He's way funnier than me.
I haven't washed my face yet today, and it's 12 o'clock, so I was really overdue for this.
Okay. Rinse it off. Clean washcloth.
I go a little bit longer because for those of us that have whiskers or something on the upper lip, you just need to, take a few more seconds.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like. Facial hair. Don't forget, you guys can write in questions and we'll answer them. Yes, their products are cruelty-free and vegan. They're non-toxic. Non-toxic skincare is very important to me, just because we have so many toxic stuff and chemicals that we're surrounded by in our everyday lives, from our hair products, our skincare products, our toothpaste, what we're cooking our food in, the plastics, our air, our water. I think it's really important to limit our toxin exposure and our toxic load in our bodies. So for me, that's why I went non-toxic, and I just feel like when I'm healing from any health issue or Lyme, if you're wanting to heal, I feel like you really got to take care of what you're putting in and on your body. I don't think it matters that you're just trying to heal the issue. I think you have to heal the whole body as well. So that's why initially switched over to non-toxic makeup because I just wanted to live a very less minimal toxic lifestyle as I could. Okay, now I need to, you don't have to dry your face. Okay, next is the acai pulp facial scrub. So this, you can either dilute it with some water so it's just a scrub, or you can really pack it on there and leave it on for like 20 minutes so that it's a mask. This is really good at just kind of like giving you a glow, getting rid of any
just makes you shine.
Just makes you shine. Any dead skin. Do you want to use it as a scrub or a mask?
I'm going to use it as a scrub. Just.
He doesn't want to do any face masks on.
I don't
national
know
television.
that will go well for me and my friends necessarily. To arm them with material that they will just use against
blackmail you with. Well, I'll do the mask version for a few minutes, and then I can answer some questions. Just pack it on there. I like to exfoliate 1 to 2 times a week just to help my skin glow. And get rid of the dead skin. So always make sure you're putting on sunscreen, especially after you exfoliate, just so you don't burn your skin.
Hey, here's a pro tip for all the guys out there that are watching, or maybe not watching, but might watch later. I've been told you're not supposed to kind of peel your skin or tear your skin, stretch it when you're rubbing it in. You do it gently, and I used to just claw at my face, so.
It was literally like.
Apparently you're not supposed to do that.
Especially your eye area. It's so delicate. I'm going to be very gentle. I want to keep him looking young for as long as I can, since he's a little older than me.
Just a little bit. Take it easy.
Just a little.
We don't need to tell anybody people's ages here.
And yes, this scrub has crushed acai berries in it, so that's pretty cool.
Hey, I saw some comments about anti-aging. People wanting to know the anti-aging components in any of the products that we're using.
I mean, I'm not a professional, but I mean, yeah, I feel like just pretty much any products taking care of your skin, making your skin stays hydrated, that you wear sunscreen is a great anti-aging tip. Also drinking a lot of water. But yeah, I believe all these products are anti-aging. They're packed with antioxidants and really help against environmental damage.
You look great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of pull off this mask.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so first question. I'm just going to kind of go through the Lyme questions first. The first question I had was, how did you find out you had Lyme? So, as I said earlier, I was going through a lot of different symptoms for a few years. At first, I was diagnosed with leaky gut, then Hashimoto's, the autoimmune disease. And I just deep down knew, I was like, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel like this is actually the answer. So my acupuncturist I was already living a very kind of holistic, non-toxic lifestyle at that point. But this happened about 1.5 years ago. My acupuncturist recommended me to a Lyme literate doctor, and I still see her now. She's amazing. She's Dr. Melanie Giesler in LA, but she's doing virtual appointments now. But I went to her on my first visit and just was like, hey, I've been seeing on social media people talk about Lyme disease. I feel like my face just looks like I'm really red.
You look like you have a sunburn.
Whatever, it's worth it. And I told her, I was like, this is one thing I hadn't been tested for. I've been tested for so many things. I've had so much blood work done. So she was like, all right, let's do it. And I had heard that another question I had was, what's the most comprehensive Lyme test? I did IGENX, IGENEX. They're a private lab in like Palo Alto or up north or like Northern California. So they don't have to go through the CDC. The CDC only tests a few types of the Lyme bacteria and co-infections, whereas IGENX tests like basically all of them. And the difference between them is the CDC requires that you, I think, have 5 positive bands of Lyme bacteria to be considered positive for Lyme. So say you had 4 positive, the CDC would say you didn't have Lyme, which just seems odd and wrong. So I did IGeneX. I had about 4 of the 5 bands. And so IGeneX tested me as positive, as well as positive for Babesia. It's a blood parasite as well, but it's a co-infection, so ticks can carry our dog. Ticks can carry lots of different diseases like Rocky Mountain spotted fever, Bartonella, and obviously Lyme and Babesia, and I think a few others. So I did the Lyme test through her, and 2 weeks later she said, "You were right, you're positive."
I think it's important to also note that we had a lot of friends and family that had been diagnosed with Lyme disease as well, and everybody had gone through a series of tests where they tested negative, and the one common thread we got was go through IGeneX if you're curious about whether or not you have Lyme. It's one of the most credible places to figure out if you have it or not. So every road led there.
Yeah. And I've had a lot of friends or people through social media that have said they've been tested for years negative for Lyme, but they did IGeneX and they were like, "I finally got answers. I've been positive. I think I've had Lyme for 20 years." So you can have Lyme for a really long time and not know it. And someone else also asked if it's possible to get sick 7 to 9 years after being bit by a tick. And yeah, just because you get bit by a tick doesn't mean you're automatically going to show symptoms right away.
Every road led to IGeneX. So
IGeneX.
If you want to get tested, everybody said you got to go there to get really accurate, true results.
Yeah. And so, yeah, you can get sick years later. There's some people that just the Lyme bacteria just lays dormant in their bodies for years, and then something triggers it, like getting sick or stress, and it just causes it to finally come out, because Lyme bacteria is really smart that once it knows it's being attacked, it goes into hiding. So it will hide in your lymph, in your tissues, in your muscle, in your brain, and so it won't be detected in your blood, which is why the CDC a lot of the time, sometimes it comes back negative because it's just not being detected. And so Lyme is just really smart, and it's tricky, and it's sometimes really hard to kind of nail down that that's what's going on. And they also have so many of the similar symptoms as so many other diseases. So it's hard, but if you're going through stuff and you don't seem to be getting answers or results from your doctors, I highly, highly suggest that you get Lyme. And the common misconception with Lyme, there's 2, is 1, you think that Lyme disease is only on the East Coast, which is totally false. Yeah, it may have started kind of over on the East Coast, but it is everywhere. So it's all over the world. It's found everywhere now. I think Belgium also has some the highest amounts of ticks that are tested with positive with Lyme. But so that's one misconception, is that it's only on the East Coast. So it's everywhere. We found it over here in California. And 2 is that you get a bullseye rash every time you're bit if the tick is positive with Lyme disease. And that's false. That's actually a 20% chance. 20% of people that have been bit by a tick got the bullseye rash. So it's really not that common to get a bullseye rash, so don't just go off of that. And then also, if you do get bit by a tick, save the tick. Send it into IGeneX or Tick Report, and they can test the tick for you. And if the tick comes back positive with any diseases, then you know, okay, I need to go on antibiotics, because antibiotics are the most effective within the first week or 2 after being bit. After that, it starts to get a little harder because it's just circulating in your body, which is why...
Here's a fun fact, too, with saving ticks. Our dog, Georgie, has been getting a lot of ticks this summer, and dogs can also get Lyme disease. So every time we find a tick on her, we've been taking it off, we've been saving it, and we've been sending them to the lab because we want to make sure that our little pup doesn't get Lyme disease either. So
yeah, so far, all those ticks have been, well, the 2 I've tested so far have been negative, so that's good. But yeah, so those are kind of the Lyme questions I had. So we're gonna move on now for the next part of the facial, but hold on.
My daughter got the bullseye rash and was told she was part of the lucky few.
Oh, yeah. if you get a bullseye rash, that's lucky because it's not super common. And I know that it was impossible that I had Lyme because of a tick, because I would remember if I was bitten by it. No, you won't remember if you were bitten by one. Some are like the size of the end of a pin, like a pen. They're so tiny.
In fact, I don't think you even knew you were.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
No, I went 4 years not knowing that I had Lyme or that I got bit by a tick. So
it was the rash that tipped you off.
I did get a bullseye rash, but my doctor told me it was ringworm. So just from looking at it, and then I remembered like 2 years ago, I was like, wait, I had a strange rash on my back in a circle, and no one knew what it was. And then I was like, wait, and then 2 months later is when all my symptoms started. And then that's when I was like, I need to get tested for Lyme. But also, you can get bit in your scalp. You won't know. When they bite you, they have like a numbing like thing that they inject into you, so you don't know that you're being bit. So they can be so tiny, and they can be anywhere. They can be in your ear, they can be in your hair, under your armpits. So always check after you go hiking or you're outside. Always check your animals, because those ticks can kind of release off of them and go onto you. So, okay. You guys have it. Oh, last question is, how do I find a Lyme literate doctor? So there is the ILADS website, ILADS. That's like the Lyme literate doctor website. And then also there's the LymeDisease.org. You can go on there and try and find a Lyme literate doctor in your area. If your doctor's not Lyme literate, they're not really going to be able to help you, unfortunately. And so I've had some people reach out and say like their normal primary care doctor won't test them for Lyme, they won't do certain blood tests for them, they don't believe them, and it's really kind of ruining a lot of people's self-esteem when wanting to take control of their health. So if your doctor is not willing to do it, I know it's tough and expensive to find new doctors, but your health is very important. So I would say try and find a new doctor. And then also Parsley Health, I don't know how they do with Lyme, but Parsley Health is a great kind of virtual, I think more affordable option for people wanting to get certain tests done and stuff.
How long are you going to leave this mask on?
It says up to 20 minutes. Someone asked, what were your most debilitating symptoms? So for me, it was mainly neurological. So brain fog, fatigue. I started to have really bad memory issues. I went home once and forgot someone's name that I grew up with and knew my entire life, and just was like, holy cow, what is happening? And then the gut issues, those were every day. They were excruciating, carrier members, all the...
Yeah, that was tough.
Complaining, the crying, the fetal positions of just being in so much pain. He's the one that made me go to a doctor at first. He was like, something's wrong with you.
Yeah, I think the hardest part in the beginning was just not knowing what was going on. So you're always kind of playing a bit of a guessing game, and then you start doubting yourself. You start thinking, am I crazy? You start asking your partner if they're crazy. And
I know, I was doing so many different diets and elimination diets and doctor's tests and doctor's appointments, and he was like, are you okay? I was like, I just need to figure this out. The one thing I can do to control, the one thing I can control is my food and what I'm putting in my body. So I went pretty gnarly for a while with how serious I took my food and my nutrition.
Carrie's the man for being so supportive. Thank you.
Yeah, he is.
Thank you.
He's the best. He's stuck by.
I honestly, I don't have to do much. It's pretty impressive. Holly's a total beast. I don't think that I could ever wake up and sting myself 10 times along the spine with a bee every other day. Oh, that's
the other thing, is I didn't even get into that. I do bee venom therapy. Oh wait, I did get into that, right?
A little bit, but you can go into more detail. Yeah.
So bee venom is antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, anti-aging. It's like kind of nature's cure-all, kind of. It was mostly known for MS and rheumatoid arthritis, like a lot of benefits towards that with people that had it. And then, I don't know, maybe like 15 years ago, it kind of became a little more common for people with Lyme disease. So I have a friend who taught me it because she cured herself and fully eradicated the Lyme bacteria, and she's been fully Lyme free for years now. So she taught me everything. Her name's Brooke. She's the everyday expert, and she's teaching people now how to do bee venom therapy through the Heal Hive. But yeah, I sting myself with live bees 3 times a week. It's kind of gnarly, but doing it, and I'm 4 months away from it.
My mom cries every time she sees Holly do it.
I know.
She's like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's hard, and it is what it is. But I'm almost done. I hope to be a beekeeper one day and have my own bees, and I'm very kind of pro bee now and trying to help make sure people know kind of how to help keep bees around. Stop buying things that are using like pesticides and stuff, because that's kind of the main thing why bees are on the decline. But yeah, okay. Now I'm gonna wash this off. It says you can leave this on for up to 20 minutes if people were wondering why I had it on for so long. Carrie, you can put on, Carrie's gonna put on, and I will too, the Restorative Sea Culture Hydrating Toner. Last night I was like, Carrie, doesn't this feel like
we're sea creatures?
It feels like silk, right?
It feels, yeah.
It's
feels
very
really nice.
luxurious and hydrating, but it's seaweed, so it's really hydrating. You just joined in. Hi, welcome. I'm doing like a little talk about holistic healing, my journey with Lyme disease, and I'm also doing a facial with my boyfriend. So we're showing how 100% Pure's products are pretty unisex and anyone can use them, so it's pretty awesome. And I'm all about him trying to take better care of his skin.
And I'm all about learning how to take better care of my skin.
Yeah.
Because Mama's aging. Got these little things coming in up here, a little bit up here.
So there was a question for Carrie. It was, what was it? Hold on. Kind of like, what is it like from Carrie's perspective to date someone that's going through health issues? So if you want to talk about his...
Remind me how many pumps do I do?
Just like one. You can do 2.
I'll go 2.
Do your neck.
What's it like? My neck. Oh, I always forget about the neck. We can get neck wrinkles too.
Yeah.
What's it like dating? What was the question? Dating somebody that's going through health issues?
Yeah, or like what was it like for you? What was your perspective? Like, did it get in the way of anything, or?
Well, as I said before, I think. See how nice and shiny this is?
Yeah.
I think the hardest thing in the beginning is, like I said, not knowing. And then from there, you just kind of got to take things day by day. And, we didn't know what we were getting into. And I think we just kind of had to remind each other and ourselves that some days are going to be better than others. They're going to be good days. They're going to be bad days. For me, you just have to love and support somebody and kind of be strong when they're weak. And so, thankfully I don't have to do that much because Holly's so strong. But we do have the occasional bad day, and I just try to remind her, like, dude, this is a bad day. Own it. Let it be. Holly likes to go. And sometimes she gets tired and wonders why she's tired or needs to take a nap. And I'm like, dude,
he's like, you have
take a
Lyme
nap.
disease.
You have Lyme disease. Like,
oh,
it's okay.
Right.
But actually, we have a little thing that we do anytime something gets rough or we're not sure what the outcome's going to be or we're worried, and we just kind of repeat 3 times, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
Makes me say it until he feels like I'm actually believing it, that things will be okay. So
yeah. And I think, if Holly's not feeling well or freaking out about something, I make her say that 3 times, and it's kind of a good way to just
get out of the cycle of like
get back into it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that answered the question.
Carrie, someone say you should offer a course on how to be a supportive partner.
Wow.
That's a great idea.
Wow.
Thanks, Lauren.
I don't know what I'm doing.
No one knows what they're doing in this
knows.
life.
Nobody.
You just make it up as you go. It's pretty much how it goes. There was a question I wanted to... Oh, Carrie, did you start to implement changes alongside me?
In what way?
probably with like my lifestyle choices and diet. And,
Oh, yeah.
Like coffee enemas.
No, I haven't done that. She's trying, but
She won't do a coffee enema. But
yeah, I definitely started eating healthier. I have a really, really, really bad or good sweet tooth, depending on how you look at it. And I think Holly's made me a little bit more conscientious about eating processed sugars and foods and finding healthier alternatives.
Sugar monster over here.
Also, exercise, fitness, being, a lot more active on a daily basis, weekly basis, kind of regimenting stuff. And then, skincare, anti-aging for me because, I don't know.
He's just very expressive with his face, so you have a lot of
like
smile lines, which is fine. But there are things.
Get on the coffee enema train.
Yeah. People, if you're on the coffee enema train, tell them what's up, because I do it once a week. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't fully know like what coffee enemas do and stuff, but coffee enemas are great because they can really help with fatigue, constipation. People with migraines actually have noticed a big improvement with their migraines after they do coffee enemas. But it's just great because I do a lot of, so on my sting days, my bee sting days, I do the bee stings. And then on my non-sting days, I have to focus on detoxing. So that's like lymphatic drainage massages or dry brushing, infrared saunas, cold showers, coffee enemas, just to help assist. Our bodies know how to detox, but sometimes our systems are so sluggish from health issues or our toxin load that they need a little assistance. So that's what I've been doing. And it also helps to detox like mold and parasites and candida. So I also have like a full coffee enema highlight over on my page. But yes, you insert the coffee through your bum and you hold it in there for like 10 to 15 minutes and then you go to the bathroom. And that's it. But there's a difference between like colonics and coffee enemas, so.
I got on the coffee enema train and I'm not getting off. Is what
Yes.
somebody said.
Yes.
A lot of people on that train.
Yeah.
I will say with that every time
That's so
Holly
nice.
comes out of our room from having done one, it's like she's just
I'm like,
done
what?
a ton of pump up drugs or something.
I put on my morning dance mix on Spotify.
Going a million miles an hour, so I think clearly it's
And I'm
beneficial.
just like, life is great. We're good. Okay, so this
Hey,
hydrating toner is
yeah.
incredible.
Really awesome. And especially, we were in the sun a lot yesterday and did it in the evening. Really good for post-sun exposure, I think. I don't know if I can make that claim or not.
So this, it has seaweed in it, so it's from unpolluted water, and it retains the purest sea minerals and nutrients for your skin. It's kind of like jelly-ish. Like, it's so nice and hydrating. I highly recommend this. So, okay, next is one of my favorite products for skin. I love to rub in my excess products onto my hands too. One of my other favorite products for skin is vitamin C. So vitamin C is great for brightening the skin, helps with collagen production in your skin. So fine lines, helps keep, if anything, this is anti-aging, vitamin C. Put some on. Just pat it in. Does it have glycerin? I don't know. Carrie, can you read them? It might. I don't know. I'm not like an expert in there. Ingredient. I don't know. Oh. Yeah, the very last ingredient is glycerin, I think. It had like 2 words before it.
Am I doing it right?
Yeah. Don't forget the neck.
Oh, the neck.
Okay. What other questions do we have? Oh, there was a question about food and what Carrie and I do, since we kind of have very different diets, lifestyles. I prefer to be as organic as possible, grain-free-ish. I don't like to be too restrictive anymore because I felt like it mentally just it was needed in the moment to be very strict with my diet, but now I just feel like I've done so much work on self-love and body image acceptance and just the mental part of being so restricted with food. It just kind of leads me down a bad path now, so I'm trying to be as flexible as possible. I'm paleo-ish, and if there's like dessert I want that's gluten-free but has some sugar in it, we all gotta live a little.
I live a lot.
He lives a lot.
I live a lot.
Yeah, Carrie has no health issues, no gut issues, no food sensitivities.
No food sensitivity. My stomach's like a rock, so
Yeah.
I can almost eat anything and never have issues.
Anytime he does have an upset stomach, though, I'm like, sadly, I'm like, yes, now you get to know what it feels like. And he's always like, is this what it feels like to be
See
you?
what
I'm
the
like,
tables
yeah.
are like when they're turned? The supportiveness is just,
Yeah.
it's not there. It's not reciprocal.
No, we're not vegan. But if you're asking about their products, yes, their products are vegan. So, no, for dinner, I get asked a lot what we do for dinner, if Carrie eats whatever I cook. And yeah, most of the time he eats what I cook. I feel like I cook yummy food. It's not boring. Being healthy doesn't mean it's boring.
Holly's a good cook, so,
Like,
you
you
prefer
can-
cooking at home versus takeout, which is important.
I just like to know what's in my food. But just because you want to live a healthier lifestyle doesn't mean you're going to be missing out on a lot of stuff. You can still indulge when you want, but I found so many amazing alternatives with like gluten-free, dairy-free, refined sugar-free products that it's just like I don't want to go back to the other way. I don't even like the taste of dairy anymore.
Do we limit our meat intake? We don't eat a lot of red meat, but
No, we eat organic and try to eat pasture-raised organic. If I can go to the farmer's market, I like to get my proteins from there because I know like the farmers and the people there. But yeah, I mean, a lot of fish, chicken,
yeah.
turkey, not a ton of red meat,
Yeah.
but sometimes because when I'm on my period, I like crave red meat because of the iron. Okay, so we did the vitamin C. Now next is the coffee bean caffeine eye cream. This is actually one of the first products from 100% Pure that I tried when let me just go back. 100% Pure is the first non-toxic company that I ever tried. They're the first one I found. So it's really fun to be doing this with them. So the coffee bean caffeine is really good for decreasing puffiness and dark circles because of the caffeine. So here you go.
I kind of like when you do my eyes for me, typically.
Okay.
She's just got gentler fingers. Here's another thing.
Last night he tried to go with these fingers and was like...
Apparently you can put them on the wrong fingers.
No.
I didn't know.
Ring finger, because
Mm-hmm.
these are like the least pressured, I don't know, the fingers that have the least amount of pressure,
Mm.
and this eye area is very delicate, so.
Yeah, I'm really get in there. See what we're working with.
Pat it in, okay, you can finish.
So much better when somebody does it for you.
Must be nice. I'd ask you to do mine, but.
Come on, I got my fingers ready.